Hi, we are excited to be here again to learn about another one of our awesome women leaders here in Maryland. Sarah Glynn is a senior manager with GRF CPAs in Bethesda. And so, welcome, Sarah. Would
Yeah.
love to learn a little bit more about you. So, what is one accomplishment that you would say in your career thus far you're really most proud of and why?
I think what I'm most proud of is the mentoring and guiding younger staff. It's actually the one part I really do enjoy about my job.
Mm.
I've been in public accounting on and off for over 25 years. I took a little break when I had kids. But I think that's just connecting with the younger staff. I've always enjoyed that part, and I get positive
Mhm.
reactions from the staff. I hear good things from management saying that staff enjoy work easily with me. And it's just nice to, give them a little guidance, whether it's accounting or auditing related or just career related, and then seeing the results, seeing them progressing well, and just having a good conversation. That's one of that's the thing I enjoy most about my job. I enjoy, my relationships with the clients too. I've become an expert in benefit plans and nonprofit audits, but yeah, it's the relationships I've developed with the staff.
Absolutely, yeah. There's something unique about helping someone else succeed that like sometimes I think is even better than your own success in a way. Like
Yes.
watching someone else is a really cool um, experience and that you get to be part of that their journey, right? And
Yeah.
so as you mentor other people, I'm assuming that was modeled for you maybe as well. So is there a significant mentor or role model for you in your career that really inspired you to do that for others?
There's not one in particular, but so I've over the course of my career, I did a little bit of in private accounting, and then I went back to school, got an accounting degree, and then I've worked in public accounting since. I've worked for three various firms in the DC area. But I would say at different stages of my career, going from a staff to a senior manager, it was always I was always usually women who were available, and just watching it, they made it look so easy.
Mm,
Those partners that made it look so easy. And you just sort of would ask like how that was. Because I soon after I got into accounting, I started having children, public accounting, I started having children. And it was just learning those skills of time management, using
yeah,
any resource available. Like I remember when Giant first started, where you can order your food online, have it delivered.
yeah,
Always, they were doing that when, order things on Amazon, things like, and then once the smartphone came out, the technology on your apps and smartphones, always looking for the best way for that time management so you can do it all. So you can have this one work family balance, I would like to say. And then those were always usually the women, those were the women that were available to, I'd be like, how are you doing it? And
mm,
they were always available to give you the best advice. And then also work wise too, like, as I grew in the firm and, as I grew in my positions, just the advice about the best approach auditing wise or accounting wise that's the most efficient. And those are those recommendations and suggestions that I've passed down to staff as well. So in some ways
yeah.
that's, progresses, but so it's not one person. It's just sort of, you know, every at different stages running through as my career has gone on, the people I've met.
Yeah, just the people that that you can see and you see succeeding, and
Yes.
the fact that you're able to go to them and say, "Hey, like, how exactly are you doing that?" And that they're open and like, "Hey, here's the tools
Yes.
I use."
Right.
Like,
Yes.
I'm not Superwoman. I have tools. I have
Right. And
resources.
there's
I have
and there's mentoring
support.
and sharing and they want
Yeah.
us all to succeed. Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. And that's a good reminder too that we're always being watched.
Yeah.
Like not you didn't name one person and I bet some of those people that maybe if you named, the 10 people that you could think of, like some of them probably wouldn't even like realize that they had that impact on you.
Exactly. Yes.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so we're always being watched and
Mhm.
to, be transparent and share how we're doing those things. You
Yes.
mentioned tools, and of course, the accounting and finance profession uses a lot of different tools and is evolving to use more things like generative AI, technology. All of these things are rapidly changing our profession. And so, whether it's related to that or just how our profession has grown, what would you tell a young person that's entering the profession now? Like, what advice would you share as, our profession continues to evolve?
Well, first thing I'd say is you chose a great profession. I'm one of those people that's always, I run into business students all the time. I have kids that are, in their 20s, and
Mm.
I'm always pushing the accounting major over, business administration and everything. So that's the first thing I say. It's like, you guys did a
Thank
great
you.
job. Yeah.
Thank you. We need you.
Um,
More of that.
Yes. The one thing I tell them is yes, is it's everything as we know, everything's evolving. I mean, I think about the college graduates from 2020 to 2024. I mean, their college experience has been totally different. 2020, they never really experienced in virtual that when they started working at their first jobs were in person. 2024's part of their college career was virtual,
Right.
and their job might be hybrid or it might even still be remote. So I always tell them, look, look at all the opportunities. Like I just said, what it makes it more efficient? What makes your job easier? What helps you learn too? That's
Mm,
part of it. Two, reach out to everyone. Reach out to those mentors. Reach our firm. We have mentors and coaches. Reach
mm,
out to those people because the way we communicate now has changed. The 2020 graduate communicating compared to the 2024 is the 2020 graduate had a lot of in-person training, whereas the 2024 might have more virtual, more through Teams meeting. So I just say always, realize that everyone is here to help you and mentor you and to reach out and use the resources available, person or, technology. So
absolutely. Yeah. And
yeah.
that's such a great point that how we learn is both different for different people, how we learn best, but also it's changed so much, the availability or the resources or the methods with which we learn.
Mhm.
So great to encourage folks to our profession is a continuous learning one.
Mhm.
So figure out how you learn best and then go ask for that help, right? In the way that works for you.
Yeah, because also as mentors, it has changed as well.
Yeah.
When you mentor in person, it's a lot different than when you mentor virtually or, not in
Yeah,
person. So yeah.
definitely. Yeah. We have to be way more intentional with someone that's virtual when you're trying to mentor them,
Yes.
right? Like
Yeah.
there's so much like accidental mentoring that happens when you're in person, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, lots of
I
intentional.
find I've become Captain Obvious in so many ways, because
Yeah,
I might state the obvious, but it's things that you saw when you were in person that you don't see when you're virtual. So yeah, totally agree.
absolutely, absolutely. So one of the things that we've kind of been on a journey as MACPA, and you mentioned you always kind of push the accounting career and just to folks that you meet, young people. We're on a journey to help change the narrative kind of the accounting
Mhm.
profession. I think sometimes we have a little bit of a negative stereotype, or maybe people don't quite get what we do. And so part of that is talking about and being purposeful about our purpose and our why and sharing it with other people, that it's not just like spreadsheets and tax filings. Like there is a real impact to the work we do. So, what would
Yeah.
you say is like the ultimate kind of reason behind your purpose, your why, and how does that motivate you?
So I guess when it comes to motivation with the why, like I said, I've done it so many times with some of my children's friends in
Mm,
promoting like the accounting field because they do think it's just like like spreadsheets and they think it's boring.
yeah,
And I'm like every organization relies on their accounting. They're in some ways the backbone of whatever industry you join, whatever interests you. Like, and so I'm like, accounting is so not that. It touches every aspect of a business, from their
right.
budgets to like, what they're going to spend on, how they're going to raise funds, how, it's decision making is accounting.
Mm, mm,
It's because we provide the reports to let you know what does and doesn't succeed. And so I just let them know. And I don't think that's always expressed with accounting because now we have this in the last 20 years, you have the business administration major
mm,
that sort of has come out. And I think
yeah,
I've met a lot of young people who think that's sort of the take on it. Like,
mm,
but when they get into the curriculum of business administration, it's not really, it doesn't give you as much of a background to really succeed in running a business, I think, than accounting does. Because you really
right.
get to learn about the numbers and how the numbers affect the organization and the budget. There's just, and
Yeah,
it's something where you get that major when you're 22 and you can grow in whatever your field. I mean, like
absolutely.
you can start out in auditing and then you can do an organization and you can get into budgeting, you can get into forecasting, you can get into, CFO. There's so many opportunities with accounting. But it's just not always expressed, when you get the accounting major. And that's an evolving thing too, I think, really,
Yeah,
as
it's
business
the amount of
evolved and
opportunities.
change
Yeah.
with, change with like how we collect data and use data as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. If you can learn the money part of an organization, you can run the organization, right? Like
Yes. Yeah.
there's a lot of power in that. So it's great that you shared that with students. Thank you.
Yeah.
Uh, so this is the Women to Watch Awards, and we have two different categories. We have the experienced leader and the emerging leader, and of course the common word there is leader. So I'm
Mhm.
curious for you, Sarah, what does being a leader mean? So like complete the sentence. Being a leader means what to you?
Mentoring, being available, just establishing a relationship with those mentees to help them succeed. And yeah, I mean, that's what I enjoy about my job, really. And that's, helping them succeed and evolve to the next level in their career. That's what I think a leader is,
Yeah.
And it's very rewarding when you see them succeed and you see them appreciate the time you give them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
So we have a little bonus question. So MACPA next year in 2026, we're actually going to celebrate our 125th anniversary,
Mhm.
which is crazy to think, but we were the third state to have a CPA license. And in 1901, MACPA was founded. So I'm curious, what does being part of a professional community like the MACPA really mean to you? What kind of impact or importance do you have, or does it have on you in your career?
I think it's such a, I think of
Hmm.
support and growth in my career. I started it, I was originally a finance major and then went back to get accounting. And so it's been, like I said, over 25 years. And I just feel it's an area where I've always been able to grow. I never got stagnant. And that's one of the great things about accounting. Like I'd mentioned, there's so many things you can do in the field. And it's just nice to have, I see the CPEs you provide, the webinars, just supporting us, the industry and supporting, the staff that are just graduating college to the ones that have been doing the career for, 20 something years.
Yeah.
And it's a community. It's a nice community to be involved in. So,
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm glad that we can be that community for you. And we have one of the best communities in my opinion, because it's the people, right? The accounting
yeah,
profession at its heart is about people. It's a lot about numbers, but it's really about people. And so
right.
glad to be part of this community and have you as part of it as well. So
Thank you.
thanks so much, Sarah. It was great to chat a little bit with you, learn a little bit more about your career and the impact that you've had on other people, and look forward to celebrating you and the rest of our honorees at our Women to Watch Awards.
Great. Thank you so much.